Did y'all know that the Pope is the only one that can declare apparitions according to the world that we live in today? Most people are waiting on a supernatural event that have been taught to lead the blind. According to the Vatican, the Pope is the only one who can provide this information if it's true or not. But what is an apparition? An apparition refers to an instance in which a divine entity, such as a saint, the Virgin Mary, or Christ himself, makes itself known to a person on earth. As is also mentioned in Rome Report,
the Vatican Doctrinal Office pointed out that the case of Medjugorje is still being studied and that the norms outlined in their new document can help resolve it in a simpler way. In the last decades, the number of alleged phenomena have increased, and as the Vatican doctrinal head points out, a declaration from the dicastery is not necessary.
The case of Lourdes,
Fatima, and Guadalupe, the enormous growth of these experiences is not that they depended on a declaration of supernaturality. So for a phenomenon to grow under the action of the Spirit, it is not indispensable that these declarations continue to be made, which in fact have been very rare, very few. In the last century, I have counted more or less 6, no more in a century. Therefore, the Vatican will not declare if alleged apparitions are real. The only person with the power to endorse an apparition is the Pope himself. However, the dicastery says this would be a rare occasion.
So if the Pope is in charge to explain if an apparition is true or not, that means that the influence that the Vatican has affects the believers of Christ, and that the Pope will eventually have to confess that Christ is on earth, because the Pope is not the Father or have been anointed by God. He is just sitting in Christ's seat as a deceiver, to blind the masses from knowing the truth. Since the masses rely and believe in the Roman doctrine, they have a hard time understanding reality and what God is truly doing on the earth. This is why the declaration Christ will declare will be a natural order of God that will be placed on earth, which creates the new heaven, not a false doctrine of a man coming out the sky, but for the true Christ that will be among us. So the Vatican is getting the masses prepared for Christ to be revealed on earth, because they know that their power on the world is diminishing. Because everyone's false doctrine of God's order is being exposed by the one God sent.